process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. Legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers for you. I'm a process server. I got the legal papers.
Hey folks, we're getting ready to get started on this live stream. I'm just trying to fix a couple technical issues. But do me a favor, make a comment where you're located. Make a comment where you're located so we know, who we got and where if we're talking to somebody that might want to be a process server, which location would be located in California or which state and in which city. So make a comment. We'll be going live here shortly. Hey, my name is Lance, and I'm a private investigator and a process server in California. And I've been providing service of process for so long, I consider myself an expert. Even wrote a book about it. See the book right there? I train process servers, and I mentor process servers, and I teach them who to serve, how to serve, and how to fill out the paperwork. And I get people every day asking me, what do I do? How do I make money doing what I do? And is it fun or is it dangerous? And so I just want to make this a little live stream. I can kind of talk about the duties of the job and, the fun things that I've done and the excitement and the boredom of the job. So you can learn a little bit more about a process server. Because basically, my job as a process server is to deliver legal papers to businesses, companies, government agencies, letting them know that they're involved in some kind of action in court. So usually I'm handing it to a person, or if they don't want to take it, I drop it at their feet. Here's a funny story that I had. One time I was trying to serve some small claims papers here in California, and I went to the door the first time, knocked on the door, and I heard somebody inside say, "Who is it?" I told them I'm a process server, and they looked out the window next to the door and told me to leave, get out of their yard. So I came back the next day, the same thing happened. So I figured, this person's probably not going to let me serve them because you have to physically hand it to them or drop it at their feet. So the third day I was driving by and I saw that there was a alarm company truck parked in front of the house. And the person I was trying to serve was talking to somebody in front of the house as well. So I drove around the block, parked my car about 2 houses down, and then walked up to the house so that they really couldn't see me coming up. And I went into the driveway, and as I came around to the walkway going toward the front, the person I was trying to serve, their eyes got all big, and they turned around and tried running towards the front door. So I ran right after them. And just as they were closing the door, I dropped to serve the documents at their feet. So sometimes it can be kind of fun like that, but most of the time you're just handing it to somebody. They know it's coming. It's not a big deal. And then you got to fill out some paperwork after the fact. So let's kind of go over what we're gonna talk about. In California, because this is specifically for California. Now you need to check in your state to see what the rules are for becoming a process server in your state. But in California, you have to register. So basically the rule says that any person who makes more than 10 services of process within this state, which is California, during one calendar year for specific compensation or an expectation of specific compensation shall file and maintain a verified certificate of registration as a process server with the county clerk of the county in which he or she resides or has his or her principal place of business. So if you're out serving people and you do 10 or more, you need to get registered. And you do that at your county recorder's office in California. So in California, there's specific requirements, and you have to get a bond. So what I did is I got the application for registration for Sacramento County off their recorder's office website. If you're in California, you go to the recorder's office website, there should be an application. And I pretty much believe the fees are basically the same. So $110 filing registration fee. You have to file the bond, $10 fee, and an ID card is $37. You got to get fingerprinted. And that's basically what it is. It's pretty simple. You know, your name, address, if you got a criminal record or not, because they are going to fingerprint you. And that's basically it. And I've got a bond company as well, because in California you have to get bonded. And how much is the fee? It's $49 to get the bond in California for being a process server, and that's good for 2 years. So that's basically what it is. So that's how you become a process server. You're basically getting the bond and turning a bond in. And so how much does a process server make? Well, it depends on if it's your own business or if you're working for somebody else or if you're subcontracting. That determines how much you make. So I did a little search in Dallas for the process servers, and this is basically what their rates are. They're $85, $75, and then they've got, you know, from restraining orders are $140 or so for a restraining order, up to $215. So that kind of tells you what a process server would make having their own business. Now, are there jobs available as a process server? Well, yes, there are. Most counties have process servers that work for the county, and they are delivering legal notices so that the sheriff's department doesn't have to do it. So you can do a search on Google for process server jobs and find companies that will hire you as a process server. Now, process server subcontractor is another source of income, where you could work for one of the large process server firms who get lots of cases and stay pretty busy. Now, they're not going to pay you as much per case, but you will get a lot of cases from them. And when you get a lot of cases, you know, you could pretty much, you know, earn a decent living. Or you could start your own process server business. This is what I recommend, because you don't have to split anything with anybody like you would, you know, if you worked with a subcontractor. When you own your own process server business, you get to keep it all. And so, but here's the thing. Just because you get your registration as a process server, now what? You don't know what to do. You don't know where to get clients. You don't know how to fill out the paperwork. You don't know what paperwork to serve, who to serve, or any of that. That's why you need to get some process server training. Now, I train process servers. I mentor process servers to teach them who to serve, how to serve, and how to fill out the paperwork. And I offer an online training to become a process server. It's not required that you take it, but wouldn't it be best to know a little bit about the business to get started? And in my course, you'll learn what is service to process, what is substituted service, how much does a process server make, who can a process server serve, what kind of papers does a process server serve, where may documents be served. You know, the list goes on and on from the things that you'll learn in taking my process server training. And so in the description of the website will be a link to my, in the description, there will be a link to my website where I have some resources for you on your training courses, the process server books, process server software. That saves me so much time. I don't like clients calling me asking me for updates, because it just takes me off my game. So once I enter their case information into my software, then every time I do something, make a serve or make an attempt serve, they get notified via email. So I don't get those calls out in the field. What's going on? No, they'll get an email letting them know. And also it talks about getting your process server bond and a process server website. So basically that's it. You can get a job as a process server, subcontract as a process server, or do your own process server business. And the one I like is getting your own process server business. So can you do me a favor? Make a comment where you're at. And then we can keep in contact to see if you're going to become a process server, because I look for people to subcontract nationwide as well, because I get cases nationwide. And so if you're in my network, you'll be able to get some of these cases as a process server. Have a good day.